Supporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, laying know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Let me tell you how these devils play and then give you a headline at the same time. So NFL Dynasty owner, current Super Bowl champion owner, Robert Kraft, has actually been charged with soliciting sex, buying pussy, while he was actually in a Florida day spa, caught up in a sting operation that they had going on against the prostitution and human trafficking that was apparently going on there. There were hundreds of people arrested, but his name was smeared all over the media for these, definitely during the weekend, and most likely going on now. I don't really watch regular TV because it destroys your mind. But peep game though. Everybody in hip hop know that he was teaming up with Meek Mill to take, and a bunch of other big money people, to take 1 million people out of the fucking justice system, literally trying to free people. And this is what happens as a result. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to win though, but we keep the game though. Green War and graduation. Support of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, laying know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So R. Kelly, one of the all-time greatest R&B singers, debatably, actually has pled innocent pled not guilty to the 10 counts of aggravated sex assault that was brought against him by the city of Chicago. Now he has to go back to the 7,000 inmate jail and await his people to either raise up $100K so he can get out on that $1 million bond off of that next court date, which is on March 22nd. These 10 counts are actually amongst 4 women, 3 of them who were minors. Crazy. Green War and graduation. Supporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, laying know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over this past weekend, they actually had U.S. Special Envoy to Venezuela, Stacey Abrams, go over to Venezuela, to Colombia actually, but to the Colombia and Venezuela border, where U.S. forces have been, U.S. in general, military, been trying to get humanitarian aid into Venezuela without the permission of the current Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro. So the Maduro people and his regime, they're seeing it as just basically this is like a sneak coup. Like they trying to topple their government, and in doing that, giving the aid, there's another opposition party there, Juan Guaido. They're using that to galvanize like the people that are against Maduro, saying, look, they won't even let us have this aid that we very much need or whatever. But the United Nations doesn't even want a part of it, because they're seeing it as a political ploy, and it got really violent this weekend because 4 people died. So, stay tuned. Let's get ugly. Green War and graduation. Support of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So this week, Donald Trump is actually supposed to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un again. He did this last year, and then last year they came away from it saying that, the North Korea is prepared to denuclearize. Now, if y'all follow me, Bishop Grady, y'all follow Black Fox News, y'all know I've been telling y'all motherfuckers, they not going to denuclearize. If you look back to what happened in the Korean War, America went over there and bombed the motherfuckers by the millions. You think, why the hell would they denuclearize knowing that we still have nukes? That's crazy. It's never gonna happen. So anytime they say something like that, they're playing games with y'all. Just keeping y'all on notice. And also this week, Michael Cohen is actually going to testify in front of the House committee about pretty much his workings with Donald Trump. So that should be very interesting, because he already is, I don't want to say snitching, but been telling it what's been happening. So stay tuned. Green War and graduation. Supporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on. So the House Oversight Committee is actually voting tomorrow to pretty much see who they should be giving subpoenas to throughout the Trump administration regarding this whole situation about family separation at the border and the detention of these children, essentially, because there are thousands of kids that have been unreported, that have been detained in these situations as well. And motherfuckers, they haven't even been able to keep track of these little motherfuckers. So it's getting real crazy. You kind of got to think about all of this rape that's going on in the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? All of this organ harvesting that's going on over in Israel and in other places or whatever. It's like, yo, are they taking part of this shit? What the fuck are they doing over there? And how can you justify missing kids? Any one kid that's missing is unacceptable, and there are thousands missing. Think about that. Green War and graduation. Supporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting you know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So Alva Johnson, a beautiful black woman who was actually working on the 2016 Trump campaign, is actually suing Donald Trump for forcibly trying to kiss her. Now, obviously, if you followed anything about Trump, this does not sound like some left field shit. But basically, she said that at one of his rallies, she was helping with the bus setup or whatever. And when he finished, she made it a point to speak to him as he was like doing his highs and buys and all of that, and saying that I've been working hard for you, blah blah blah. And he's like, hey, I know you've been working hard for me, and essentially leaned in and tried to kiss her while she had a baseball cap on. While awkward, she tried to turn away from me, and he kissed her right on the side of her mouth. Now there were people who were there, and no one was corroborating the story, even though they were witnesses. But she would have let it slide till not too long afterwards. He was on Access Hollywood talking about being famous, you could kiss and grope women. So it's crazy. You support the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying out what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So the House of Representatives tomorrow is actually set to vote on a bill or resolution that they put in place so that they could block Donald Trump's national emergency declaration. Now, for those who've been under a fucking rock, he actually declared a national emergency for this country so that he could take funds from other departments like the Justice Department, Treasury Department, FEMA, and use it to go towards the border wall, of which he was trying to get $5.7 billion from Congress in their bill appropriation, and it just didn't work out like that. So he was like, fuck it, I'm going around y'all. I don't care who sues me or whatever, and I'm gonna do it this way. Straight Debo style, but everybody's gonna try to sue him. So this resolution bill they coming up with is most likely gonna veto it, and they're gonna leave it in the hands of the Senate, and they kind of tend to vote towards the right. So we'll see what happens. Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Sudan, for those who don't know, that's like the northeastern Africa. It actually touches the Red Sea and sits across from Saudi Arabia. The president, Omar al-Bashir, is actually issuing a state of emergency countrywide over there. There have been 2 months of anti-government protests, and hundreds have been jailed during these 2 months. All news outlets have been shut down and stopped from foreign reporters, stopped from even doing any coverage, and there's actually been 50 people killed over these past 2 months due to these protests. So it's getting real over there. And just globally, as you've heard me talk about before, there's like a rise in like these dictatorship type movements. You know what I'm saying? And Trump be over here in America be definitely influenced by it, because he be shouting these motherfuckers out. But just let y'all know, man, War Green and graduation. You support the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So actually over in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari is actually seeking a second term, because they've been having presidential elections. They had a vote in this past week, but the election system has been so violent over it. It's just been crowded and violence. It had already got pushed back a week. It was supposed to happen last weekend, even before this past one. But even this past weekend, there were 40 people that were killed amidst all of this. Not to mention that in Nigeria in general, people are obviously upset with the state, but they also have to worry about Boko Haram, which is out here. They've been kidnapping. They first came on the scene for kidnapping these, little female children, and by like the hundreds, and known for committing terrorist acts and trying to push out Western influence. So it's a lot of commotion over there. Stay tuned. Green War and gradually. You support the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So the United Nations actually reported that over in Afghanistan, now we've been in this war. When I say we, I'm talking about America and the powers that be, because we ain't got nothing to do with that bullshit. But for 17 years, ever since what happened with 9/11, when the Twin Towers fell, which we most know is the inside job, but some of y'all don't even understand that yet. Y'all should do some research. But nevertheless, ever since then, we've been in this war over in Afghanistan, the longest war on U.S. record. And the United Nations reported that there were a record number of civilian deaths last year due to the bombing done by the United States, and also done by Afghan forces, and also done by the insurgents. Whatever, 3,800 people dead, and 900 of them were children. That's an 11% increase from the year before. Stay tuned. What the New World Order, Bishop Grady Lane. I know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So over in Gaza, actually, at the border between Israel and parts of the Palestinian state, there is actually a 15-year-old boy murdered by Palestinian forces. Now, this is atrocious. You're talking about hundreds of people that are getting murdered by these Israeli forces, and you don't really be hearing about these Israelis being murdered by Palestinian forces. Why is that? You know what I mean? You could connect the dots at the end of the day. Mind you, the U.S. as a country continuously fund Israeli state. So, you know, this is sanctioned by us at the end of the day, or by our tax dollars, but definitely not by our vote directly. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, even with that, there have been hundreds of people that have been killed since the Great March of Return started last year, where they were pretty much just trying to prevent the shrinkage of their state and not get bullied off of their land. But what's worse than that doesn't even paint the picture, because I'm sure it's thousands of them that have been injured by these Israeli forces. So stay tuned, man. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady Lane. I know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So Donald Trump, via Twitter, actually on Sunday announced that he actually will suspend the tariffs that he planned on putting on the Chinese goods. So there was a trade truce that was going on that was supposed to end on March 1st, where if you remember, since last year Trump was talking about a trade war with China, and this was supposed to result in $280 million worth of Chinese goods were supposed to get taxed or have tariffs put on them from anywhere from 10 to 25%. And he's willing to suspend that, and he's saying it's because they've made substantial progress in his talks with the president over there, and between Washington D.C. and Beijing. Like, it's all good. We'll see what happens. Are they playing games? Maybe not. Green War and graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady Lane. Know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So Trump has found a new UN ambassador. The last one was Nikki Haley. This one is actually going to be Kelly Knight Craft. Craft was spelled with a K. Her initials would be KK motherfucking K, but it's KKC instead. But nevertheless, this is a woman whose husband is actually an oil. I don't want to call him a tycoon. He might be, but he's the owner of an oil company, Alliance Resource Partners. He also is, and them together, they've also donated $1.5 million towards Republican campaigns during the 2016 election year. 270 bands to the Trump campaign. So, you know what I'm saying? This very well could be some pay for play at play here. But nevertheless, that's what's happening. Even if it wasn't as this blatant, you already know what the fuck going on if you follow me. War and graduation.